Welcome to Riverbend Talent on WBGZ. Brought to you by the Halpin Music Company.
It's Thursday night in the Riverbend. That means the sea shanty sing-along's underway down at Morrison's Irish Pub. It also means Riverbend Talent brought to you by the Halpin Music Company and by Mr. Matt Van Voorhis of German Insurance if you're up there in Jerseyville, but Macias Insurance is a Grateful Dead head that everybody gets their insurance through with Matt Van Voorhis, and we hope you will salute those two entities, and because they've been able to allow us to bring a lot of talent onto the airwaves and get to know them in a different way. We see them singing songs all the time, but we don't always get to find out where they come from and what makes them tick. But that's what this show's about if you're tuning in for the first time. And we also go through what's happening around the Riverbend, and I'll wrap up Thursday night. They usually have an open mic down there at the Conservatory on a Thursday night. We got Cross the Line at Fast Eddie's from 6 to 10. We got Carried Away, Carrie Underwood tribute at the Wild East, 7:30 tonight in Edwardsville. The Heaton Brothers, 6 to 9 at Big Daddy's in Edwardsville. Shotgun Messenger at the Stagger Inn from 7 to 10 tonight. And Drew and Audrey, they're doing the cabin at Judy Creek in Glen Carmen tonight. Sarah Shoemake, she's already underway. Started at 5 o'clock, and she'll go to 8 o'clock at the Prairie Inn in Dorsey. And Spencer McDowell is doing an open mic tonight up in Staunton at Mississippi Culture, 6:30 to 9:30. And now it's time. He's back. He was missed. All the people called in and said, what happened to the star of the show? And let me tell you about this guy. He is on 2 stations at the same time. No one else can do that except Pig Pen.
Well, I'm glad you said I was missed, even if I really wasn't. Makes me feel good. Makes me feel warm.
Well, no one helped me pick up the stuff at the end of the night, so.
Matthew Murder didn't stick around and roll.
Oh. No, Dean Thompson straightened him out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll have to watch the video. I have not seen it.
You know, your daughter did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
Putting it together. So.
Yeah, the new video editor of our
And she was a busy
show.
girl last weekend as she filmed the Halloween parade for the radio station.
Yeah. She said it was interesting to meet Mr. Mike Montgomery.
Oh, okay. There you go.
She had never met Mr. Mike Montgomery.
Vietnam vet as Veterans Day approaches.
Yeah. Veterans Day is on its way. Hey, real quick, before we move on with the show, I want to say this. You brought up this Carrie Underwood tribute.
Yeah, I've kind of heard about her, but
I was going to ask if you knew much like Carrie Underwood. I'm not sure. The name
wasn't she on like the Disney Channel or something?
See, I feel like she dated Jesus for a little while or something.
All in the Family? Was she on that show?
That would be awesome. That's Sally Struthers, right?
Didn't Kansas do a song about her? Carrie on my
Carrie.
way?
Carrie Underwood, I just was curious if you knew anything about her. That the voice sounds like the name sounds
people
familiar.
tribute her.
Yeah, she's big. Yeah, she's big enough to have a tribute. But I was just curious what kind of music it was.
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe we should ask our guests who are performing
they probably
performing country artists at the Grafton Country Musical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Music Festival.
Grafton.
It's not like they're putting on a musical, but that would be cool, a country musical.
Like Oklahoma, but it's Grafton.
Salute all the old schoolers.
They got horses up there and stuff, and we could do some like Gene Autry stuff or whatever.
So with us, returning to the show with us tonight is Mr. Jake.
I heard about horses. Something about ride a horse or a cowboy or something.
Oh no!
Isn't that one of them songs?
That's that new stuff.
Yeah,
that's that fancy pants stuff.
Yeah, it's not country, is it? Not according to Hank 3.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's
I'm glad he
now,
put
too.
the back in Dixie.
And back in country.
Yeah.
I just shoved her in there.
Returning to the show is Mr. Jake Weber, and he brought with him a Lonesome Drifter. Also returning to the show, Mr. Jared Gordon. What's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
Lean on into those microphones.
See, he did it right away.
Right. See,
he had a half-hour speech on this.
Right.
Were you listening to the dude's story
It was kind of on purpose. But, yeah.
I had a feeling
We were
when you
just checking
leaned
to make sure it was all still the same.
when you leaned way back in your chair before you talked. I'm like, is he sticking it to me?
He is.
How's life been treating you?
You know, that's what Dean said as soon as he started the show last week. He's
Yeah.
like, Pigpen's out here so we can pick on him. So you can tell Dean's been listening to the show. So that's what he says whenever a certain band member's not here. Like right now, we could pick on Owen.
Absolutely.
I say we get to it before
He's
he
got
gets
his mom's side in him when it comes to punctuality. He's definitely going to be a little late, you know.
there. Right.
That is Jake Weber. The other guy's the Lonesome Drifter.
That's right.
Yeah, that's me.
And you're speaking of your son Owen.
That's right. He just had a turn 22 yesterday, so that's probably why he's
wow.
running late. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of catch with that. He had to play a show in the city last night with the SIUE band, so
Oh, okay.
I don't know how long that went on, or I can't. He stays so busy anymore. I can't keep up with all his
Yeah.
stuff. Like he needs
Right.
to update his calendar like every other day with me. You know?
Yeah, he's a busy dude, man. Just in his musical career alone, and as much as that, it seems like that can be life. It's not. There's all these other facets to life that keep you busy.
I know what it is though. It's the busier you stay at music, no matter what you're making, he doesn't have to get a real job.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's like, I don't have time. I got all these shows. I'm
yeah.
busy. I got this. I get it. Do your thing. It's fun. Be young. Have fun.
Oh yeah, learn how to work the drift, man. You
Absolutely.
know?
He's doing well though. I mean, I give him respect. Like it's one of them things. Like I was thinking about it just today. I was like, you take it for granted almost. It's like the River Road.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. We don't think about it, you know. But people come here to see it. It's like the same thing. Like I'm starting to look at him that way. I'm like, man, I grew up like with him. Obviously, watching him do all this stuff, and he is really good, and he's getting better and better. And I'm like, man, this kid's like, if he goes like, just pick him up and set him right over here, they'll be like, oh man, who's this guy? You know,
Right.
It kind of depends on where you're at, I guess. But
So this is Owen Weber. He's speaking of who's
yeah,
the drummer.
Olive
of
Music,
of
yeah, our
band.
drummer, yeah.
And that's the Lonesome Drifter.
He's also
He
a Lonesome.
He is another lonesome
He
drifter.
grew up
I meant you.
playing drums with us from, 15, I believe, and playing in bars at 15. That was wonderful.
Right, yeah. It's
That
great.
voice there is a Lonesome Drifter who drifts from band to band.
Oh, yeah.
I see him drifting in and out of
wait,
my
he
place
looks
every
a lot
now
like-
and again.
That Gordon guy.
Oh yeah,
Right?
Which one? They all kind of look alike. I'm going to be honest, except Jason.
There's a mess of them.
Yeah.
The one that's in olive? No, I don't look like him.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he still looks like he was the movie Taxi, you know, whatever.
Oh,
he
Vodka.
was that guy for Halloween, and I don't know if he's seen the barber yet, so he may roll in here with a
mohawk?
mohawk
Oh,
and-
yeah,
and a
Taxi
green
driver.
jacket on, you
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
Taxi
Yeah,
driver,
yeah.
little,
Taxi
little
driver,
De Niro.
Right.
Great movie.
That is a fabulous movie, man.
It was hilarious. He got his hair cut right before that last show they did at the Milton Halloween
Yeah. Oh,
thing.
yeah.
But he was like, the guy was running late, and he was like, I guess I might not get my hair cut. And then like right before I go, grab a guitar. Yeah.
See, I feel like it's the wrong time of the year for that haircut.
Right?
That's
I know.
that is a summertime haircut right there,
tricky.
man.
That's where I'm at with this whole country thing coming up, because usually if I wear a cowboy hat, I try to get that real close haircut. It stays on better, but I'm like, I'm getting ready to be cold. It's going to be really cold when we're
Yeah.
supposed to play, but we'll figure that out.
So
You guys are Sunday, right?
Sunday.
Sunday, fun
But
day.
they're putting a stage up just for you guys.
Well, it's the same one that the Russo and those guys are doing
Oh,
on
yeah, those
Saturday.
guys,
It's
too.
the that's my old bass player's band, Quentin.
Yeah.
Russo and Company. That's our buddy from Hayes Bond is now part of that also.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Not
I
here,
thought they
son.
added a member. It looked like they grew a little bit.
Yeah.
We just all played Rustoberfest together too. I think they were one of the first ones, and we headlined it. But it was, those guys they're way busy.
So you guys playing outside?
Nope.
No?
I doubt
Okay.
it. We'll see if it's what they say it is, like temperature wise.
Yeah. Gonna say I was last weekend. A friend of mine played up in Grafton outside, and he had to tape hot hands to the back of his hands just to keep them warm enough
We
to.
did one like that. What
two
was that?
weekends
2 weeks
back,
ago. We didn't think anybody was going to be there, and I don't know. I think that everybody else shut their bands down or something, because everybody showed up. And we were like, dang, we thought it was going to be kind of weak today. And
Yeah.
all right, boy,
Nice.
warm up your tools and let's get to it. You know?
Yep.
Well, I think people get the fever towards the end of summer when they're like,
right.
man, we got to get out if it's even close to
Get out
nice.
while you can.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the leaves did finally start turning really good and all up the river road, too. Like, everybody thought it wasn't going to. It was so dry for a while, but
For
they
sure.
look good, so...
Yeah, it felt like it was going to be one of those years where they just fall green.
Yeah,
They're just,
right.
you know, there's just one day it's green
big
and one
wind.
day they're gone. But yeah, it's kind of been a weird year like that.
And you mentioned earlier, Jake, you know, to kind of take a advantage or, you know, get used to the fact that we have that river road to drive down. You know what else? We've said this many times. Grafton is an amazing music scene. It doesn't
they
really
stay-
get the credit for it, though. You know what I mean? It's like every single weekend there's bands all day long.
And there's a couple of venues, the pub being one of them, that really stays. They try to stay busy. That's the alternative too. Is they have a heated like outdoor little thing that we can play in, and we'll probably
this
end up
guy.
being there if it's really cold. But yeah, they keep the music all year round, and like there's a few other places to do as well, and that's great because it's a gamble when you first start doing it up there, you know. But now that it's kind of starting to get traction, everybody's starting to take on, and there you go, you know.
The reason I said this guy's got, we would do a drum roll, but he's the drummer.
Right. So
He have to do it for himself.
that's got wheels on it. Watch out. He lubed them up before you got in here. We want to see how fast it go.
So for those in the radio
Yes.
world out there that have no idea what we're talking about, Owen Weber just walked through the door. What's going on, man?
Not a whole lot.
Let's see that slick haircut you got there.
Oh yeah.
We were just talking
Oh
about
wait, he took the mohawk.
All of my hair is gone.
it. I see that.
Took the mohawk off.
We heard you were a taxi driver last weekend.
I was taxi driver on Saturday at the Milton Halloween show.
Yeah, how was that, man? That was some good bands again.
It was good. A lot of people, a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Good Halloween.
You talking to me?
You talking to me?
You talking to me?
People were
I
asking
don't see
me.
nobody else here.
People were disappointed I didn't have that like spring-loaded gun.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, that would
They're
have
like,
been
"Do you
over
got the thing on your arm?" I was like, "I don't got time for that."
that would be an awesome accessory
Right.
to have. So I always like the fast guy Eddie or whatever. Like, what do you want? You want a 57 Magnum? You want a 357? I got a pink car, a pink slip to Cadillacs. What do you? Guy sold everything in that. Anyway, little taxi driver talk there. So real quick, I got to say we discussed it before you came in. That is a summertime haircut, my friend.
The buzz?
Well, it's going to be cold. It's going to be cold.
I know.
I'm just telling you, man.
But I mean, the
taxi-
mohawk, it's like it's already gone pretty much. So
And the taxi driver's that's a good character to pick there. So
thank you.
all right. Well, so we were having a little fun talking about you before you got here. Fill us in.
And it was good, man.
No, yeah,
Dad was pumping you up, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So now we're
Talking
gonna
about how far you've come as a musician. He's been watching.
And so now we're going to tear you back down. Keep your ego on. No,
Yeah, no, go for it.
no. So, seriously, we were discussing how busy you stay with your musical career. I understand yesterday you played with the SIU band and also turned 22 years old. So happy belated birthday.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you look slightly hungover.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't get to bed till like 5, but we're here.
That's a good
Yeah.
birthday.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
so where did you play with the SIU band?
We were out at the dark room at the Grandel Theater.
Nice.
They do like a jazz jam every Wednesday night, and the grad combo I played drums in opened up the jam.
Wow. Sweet, man.
How's college life going?
My senior year, I'm almost done.
Wow, already.
Got
Unbelievable.
this little bit of the semester and the spring semester, and then I graduate.
See, you're rushing through this, man.
I am.
I don't know what your hurry is. You know,
Well, I mean, just time keeps on slipping.
slipping
Slipping
into the future. Rest in peace, Steve Miller. Oh, was it too soon for that? That might be too soon. All right. Poor Steve Miller. Look, we can all say Steve Miller was a great guitar player, but when your godfather's Les Paul, it's like you don't even count.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't even take you as a, like, if my godfather was Les Paul, I'd be able to play better. I probably wouldn't, actually. Yeah, he got lessons from Les Paul. So, you know, whatever. Punk.
No, it's country music festival in Grafton this weekend.
That's what we're here to talk about. And Steve Miller will not be there, but you know who will? Jake
He was
Weber.
invited, but
Somebody probably played one of his
He
songs,
canceled
I'm
his
sure.
tour. So
So you guys playing up there Saturday?
Sunday.
Sunday, because it's going on all weekend, and there's
Friday,
lean on into that microphone there.
Friday through Sunday. That's right.
And as Dennis was saying, Grafton, a lot of people don't give it the credit for what it is. That is a strip of bars and restaurants that I mean, the whole town's kind of an entertainment town there, you know.
And
It
I'm
stays
seeing-
active. Absolutely.
It's the Key West of the Midwest, as they say.
That's what there's. Yeah, I'm starting to see that. You know?
Yeah.
I'm really seeing the venues working together too, like promoting each other.
Oh yeah.
So that's super cool.
And that's something that is key to making a place like that successful, and something that doesn't happen enough. Like we talked for 2 years about what was going on down in Belleville with they had a music festival going on for a couple of years, Wednesday through Sunday, multiple bars each night. Different, I mean, that's a lot to put together, and they kept it going for a couple. But the venues were working together where they were trying to time their sets, stagger the artists a little bit so people could walk around and check it all out. And man, when you get an area like that, then you take the fact that like the magical spot where Grafton lives, right there, the meeting of
Confluence, right?
I mean that's the holy trinity, the meeting of the three great rivers, and so
that Experience Live Music Road down in Belleville that he's talking about, that was just basically a Facebook page that worked with all the venues and posted. But it reminds me, Enjoy Grafton is doing that now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know who's behind it, but it's very similar. They print up like a flyer type thing that has everybody's
I've seen that around a lot.
shows on it, so you can pick and choose. They ought to put a website together that lists where everybody's playing every weekend, Big Ben.
that would be so easy.
Oh, wait. We do that, don't we?
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that.
You do that.
Well, I forgot, Cottonmouth makes you forget.
See, you actually do. You actually put the
Temporarily.
website together. I just use it to figure out where I'm going to have dinner.
Yeah,
Who's got some music? Who's got live music tonight?
Well, I needed to send you someplace to do some research.
So, man, you guys, how long has the Lonesome Drifters been drifting around now? I feel like you guys have been around almost.
The whole thing's been
Over 20.
So he's 22 now.
Slide on in there just a little more.
That's right. So he's 22 now. So it's been 21 years that we've been playing out.
20.
But with Owen with us, that was right.
2020.
Maybe the Drifters were like 2 or 3 years before that. And you started, 15, 16? I don't even remember.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
long,
playing in the bars.
A long time.
Yeah.
So I
Decades now.
2004-ish
Yep.
is the when the Drifters started drifting.
Yep. First it was Alone and Dying, and then it was
I-
the Lonesome Drifters. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of forgot it was Alone and Dying. Like when we
Exactly.
first started this show, it was 10 years ago. It was still Alone and Dying. And
Oh,
I
he's
do
got the
remember that.
shirt.
Oh,
man.
no.
Oh, look at that! Yeah.
Dual support.
Oh, look.
That band sucks.
Oh,
look at
man.
For a
Oh,
second,
wait.
when they both stretched out their shirts, I thought they were gonna be like Wonder Twin Powers,
Right.
connect, form up a great band. No.
So Jake's wearing an olive shirt.
And
And Owen's wearing a Lone and Dying shirt, which
Old
is
school.
probably the last one
Yeah.
that
That's
exists.
a Kirby Little design.
and Jared is wearing no shirt. It's
yeah,
real.
that's
right.
sad.
He's got faith no more. Yeah, I'm digging that.
I know.
I've already almost sat in his lap when I seen he had that on.
Oh, see, I've just had Mr. Bungle in my head since I saw it.
There you go.
Get
Yep.
me out of this air-conditioned nightmare. Anyway. Oh man! So again, the Grafton Music Fest. Trying to stay on track here and remember what this is all about, man.
Country Music Festival.
Country Music Festival. It's going on.
Bring your mittens.
Going on down in Grafton all weekend Sunday.
And it's been several Novembers now, at least a couple years.
I think this is the third one.
Yeah.
I feel like it. I
Yeah.
could be wrong. And they've actually got pretty lucky. I think the first couple of them were pretty warm. And I think Saturday's going to be pretty good too. But I think by the time we get on stage, like I said, if they put up a few barriers on the stage, maybe we can still be outdoors. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be in that tent heated
They're gonna-
area.
We're
I think
right.
that's an option.
Well, it's nice to have. Oh,
Right.
Yeah.
Nice to have options. Lost it all there. So you guys playing Sunday? What time are you playing Sunday again?
3 to 7.
3 to 7. There you go. And again, as Dennis mentioned, man, Grafton, it's one of those things that's easy to overlook, such as the River Road and different things that we have. You know, if you haven't been to Grafton in a while, this is a great weekend to get down there because there is music in every bar down the strip going on all weekend long. What else is going on this weekend? Anything?
Well, you actually reminded me of something I seen, and we're going to go over the list of what's going on, in all the venues in Grafton. But one that jumped out at me, and I still am trying to wrap my head around it, is that Psychedelic Symphony's playing at the Ruwa Hotel. So are they doing some country music?
Yeah.
So I mean, you might find a band that's not doing country up there too. So
yeah, it is labeled as a country music festival, but Psychedelic Symphony. Okay,
that would be probably the outlaw section of it, going against the grain, doing their own thing with the country music festival. Possibly, I don't know.
We love that.
Maybe that's the outlaw side of it.
Yeah, see, rebellion.
Them and us and them.
A bunch of rebels without a cause, near as I can tell.
Yeah. Jake, that's your hometown, right, Grafton?
Anymore, yeah. I mean, it was Alton and then Grafton since 2012, I believe. Yep.
Yeah. And you're even like taking care of the toilets and stuff now, right?
I had to figure out where all of them were, but yeah, I got a crew for that these days. Fortunately, had to work my way up though. I've seen a few of them after a weekend toilets. You know.
Public Works Director is what I'm referring to.
Oh yeah, it's been bestowed on me for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hear you've cleaned more commodes than any other. No, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if any of this is true.
Well, you got Jared. Are you leaning in there with a joke? I mean, you look like you're ready to fire away on that toilet.
No, I'm waiting for my moment.
Waiting in the wings.
You're gonna catch a curveball here pretty quick.
Oh man!
So last time Owen was here, he actually caught us up on you, Jared.
Is that right?
Yeah, because we were talking about the trophy mules.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, no, he doesn't always do that.
I do that when I can. I do this thing as kind of my main thing. Trophy mules when I can. And just whoever's wanting to play on a weekend sometimes just for fun,
Yeah.
He's got a funk band, but they don't have a name.
or a work ethic.
Local funk.
Yeah, we don't do it for gigs. We do it just for our own sanity and our own heads.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. You need that, actually.
Now bring out the funk.
Oh, yeah. It's great.
I was listening to that Tommy Carlos new album.
Yeah.
And he's got a song where he talks about if the only gig I got is in my living room with you, that's good enough for me. That is a heck of a song, man.
Yeah, man. I actually listened to quite a bit of his stuff. Played one of his songs last week on our other station.
Mm-hmm.
Man, a super nice guy, and good songwriter. So there you go, Mr. Tommy Carlos, East Alton native there. Man.
But yeah, that's why we do this show, because musicians love what they do, and when it comes time to raise some money for some folks, they step right up to the plate because they love what they do. The one part they don't like is carrying all that stuff, but other than that, that's when it's work.
Well, I figure the next phase of equipment is like little robot amps that just walk themselves in and sit down.
So yeah, let's see. What do we got?
Robots are erotic. I'm tired of arguing with you about this, Jared.
What do we got up there in Grafton this weekend? We got Tracy Inman.
Oh, nice. He just texted me yesterday. I meant to call him back today. Tracy, I'll call you back, buddy.
He's going to be at Grafton Pub from 7 to 11 with his band, the Tracy Inman Band.
Nice.
And then the Gusto's going to be at Third Shoot on Friday night from 7 to 11. So that's just kind of the warm-up Friday night.
All right. That little dip in the toe, that we call it.
Everyone's getting ready for that outdoor stage on Saturday with Russo and company.
Yeah.
Billy Hurst is going to be up there.
Nice.
On Saturday at Drifters. I think
He's got 75 songs he's going to play. I saw that today on Facebook.
Oh, really?
I'm ready. 75 songs.
Lean in a little closer there, man.
That's right. 75 of them.
70.
75.
That Billy's going to play?
That's what he said. I saw it on Facebook. I know. I didn't have my glasses on. I might have been backwards, but I'm pretty sure that was where it was at.
Man, that's a heck of a set.
I know. I was like, man, we do about 60. That's pretty heavy.
Here's a medley of all the hooks.
Right?
We're going to blow through
Gone
20
there a little
songs in
bit.
about 5 minutes.
Did a long EAB run, the Johnny Cash Muddy Waters Forever song.
So we got Russo and company on Saturday from 3 to 7. That outdoor stage, supported by Jesse Vaughn. Not sure what that means.
Son of Stevie Ray Vaughan. No,
There you go.
I don't think that's true.
Maybe Jimmy Vaughn,
Jimmy,
right?
hey, are you tough enough?
We got Psychedelic Symphony, as I mentioned, at the Ruba Hotel and Restaurant from 1 to 4. Kickstart, 1:30 at the Hog Pit. Rewind at Grafton Winery from 3 to 7. Tanglefoot, 2 to 5 at the Loading Dock. We got Wolves of Lust, noon to 3. And Outlaw Opry has to be playing the Country Musical Festival. They'll be playing Grafton Pub from 7 to 11. On Saturday in Cary Lee at the Bloody Bucket Saloon from 7 to 10. Left Hand Cowboy. You can't get more country than a cowboy.
Now, oddly enough, Left-Handed Cowboy does a lot of Grateful Dead, and see, it's another one of these rebellious moves.
By the way, rest in peace. Grateful Dead member lost.
Yeah, Donna Gottschalk, beautiful voice there. Not so much with the lives and stuff, but seriously, yeah, just an amazing voice.
So check out Cary Lee on Saturday. He's playing.
Carrie Lee will be our guest next week.
Okay,
we'll be
well,
here.
He's going to be wore out because he's playing 11:30 to 3:30 at Third Shoot, and then he's going to the Bloody Bucket Saloon from 7 to 10.
Nice. Whew.
And then we mentioned Billy Hurst. He'll be at Drifters from 1 to 5. That's a Saturday lineup for Grafton Country Music Festival.
And that's a lot of music just with Billy Hurst alone. 75 songs.
Yes.
So that's
Jake's not going to knock out about 35 or 40.
We do about
About
20 a set,
20
3 sets of them.
Yeah. Ooh, that's
About
more.
60
That's 60
tunes, yeah.
Woo.
wow. You're.
Well, them country songs, only half of them, about 2.5 minutes long.
I was thinking.
When you said 75 songs, I was like, well, when they're 2.5 minutes
Right.
long, That's,
Absolutely.
So when you're playing like in rock bands, you're doing jazz at SIU, but I'm sure you grew up on country.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think he grew up on acid country.
well, maybe that too.
I listened to Weed Eater in the car on the way here.
I didn't think he grew up on as much metal as he did country and everything.
Whatever he listened to, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people rebel against their parents' music.
I had the phase.
Yeah.
You come around to it eventually.
So what's your favorite country song? Yeah, too many?
Well, yeah, there are a lot. I'd say You Win Again, Hank Williams.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
I know that comes from Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can take the credit.
He can take a lot of Hanks. All three of the Hanks.
Pretty much.
Yeah. He can do some Hank Williams, folks.
I've been told that a few times. It's a nice compliment, that's for sure.
And Hank Williams, well, while he's the great country artist, he really invented the rock and roll lifestyle, like dying in a Cadillac between gigs. Like, I don't know if that's really the rock and roll lifestyle.
Right. Getting put in the drunk tank all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Didn't get put in a Grand Ole Opry, though.
That's right.
I've
They're
heard
still
about
trying
that.
to get him back in there.
That ain't so grand anymore.
That's right.
Except that night Ruby Lee played, that was pretty grand. But other
Yeah,
than
local
that,
gal. That's
yeah.
right.
She's played the Hog Pit quite a bit.
I'm surprised she's not playing that. She's probably busy doing something bigger than that.
We need her. We need Tommy Carlos. We need Charlie Brown from Wood River.
Yeah.
Throw those guys in there.
That's quite the country trio there.
And then we got, what is it, Shotgun Creek,
Shotgun Creek.
right?
Yeah.
Jeremy Drake.
Absolutely.
So there's country music around
Borderline.
for sure. Borderline.
Yeah, lots of good stuff going on in that sense. But Mr. Jake Weber been doing it for decades and decades, and now brought the son in, drug him into it, and sounds like you got both feet in the frying pan there, Owen.
What do you mean?
Well, you got that, like as Dennis said, you got you got jazz, you got the rock and roll, you got the country going on. I'm just saying that you're a busy man. You got a lot going on.
Learning how to be a working musician.
Work the grift, man.
So you're working on like a new jazz drum part, right? And all of a sudden you're playing Hank Williams on the weekend. You're thinking about that drum part while you're playing because, you got the Hank down, right? Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden you're starting to play it a little more jazzy, and they're turning around looking at you. Does that happen every once in a while?
Not really. It used to. It has happened, yeah. I try to keep it. Yeah.
Sometimes me and Owen will drift into something a little different, but yeah, it all works.
Does he
It's
break out the
matured.
funk with you?
Sometimes some things can get a little funkier than they should be.
I don't
With
even.
this- with
Well,
this
what
type
are
of
these
music.
words that you just threw together? I don't even understand. What'd you say?
I said sometimes the songs can get a little funkier than.
Are you speaking English?
Good Lord.
I don't even understand what you're saying. Songs can get a little funkier than they should. I don't know if that's
for
real.
this genre.
Had a little stank to it.
For this genre of music,
So the guitar. One of the guitar players you play with, Mr. Jeff Lair. First time I jammed with him, we did a Stay Here and Drink, a little, and I did it disco style.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as I finished it, he said, "Where I come from, you get beat up for playing." Right? He's like, "You can't do disco Merle Haggard."
That's right. Yeah. No, Jeff's a good one. And in this group, the one drifter who is too lonesome to be here tonight is Dustin Greer, our lead guitarist.
Right.
Guy just shreds. It's worth coming to check it out for him alone sometimes.
Multi-instrumentalist.
Yes.
Yeah, Dustin has been one of those pickers that 20, 30 years ago you could walk by and see him on his front porch with a mandolin, and you're just like, wow, what is that dude?
Yeah.
That guy's a freak up there, man. He's
shreds.
he's sitting on his front porch playing better than anybody you're gonna find downtown. So so there you go. But we can make fun of him because he's not here. So.
We can.
So I don't know why.
Absolutely.
Well, we might not want to because we might want him to play in one of our bands.
That's true too. He stays busy. He's having some success with bluegrass at the moment. I know he's staying really busy with that, and I think they're putting out. I can't remember the name of the band, but they're putting an album together and stuff. He's staying really busy with it. They're doing well.
Yeah, nice.
That's awesome.
All right, so there you go. We got the Jake Weber and the Lonesome Drifters. What'd you say? 3 o'clock?
3 to 7.
3 to 7 Sunday.
Somewhere in Grafton, depending on the weather.
Yeah, it was going to be on the outdoor trailer. It probably, if the weather's off, which they've been wrong a bunch of times, we'll be right there on that stage, and they may have some heaters and stuff too. I mean, it may be right there. Otherwise, it'll be in the little heated tent in the pub back patio area.
Yeah, which might be a little warmer on that.
And a little less
night, so there
tuning,
you go.
hopefully too. Maybe
Well, here's something that people kind of forget if you don't go down there. When you go down by the river, it gets chilly.
Mm-hmm.
That's an undecided song, isn't it? Down by
It
the
gets
river.
chilly. Oh,
No, that's a chili cook-off song. Right.
yeah. But I remember a couple years back, it was like 110 degrees. It felt like, and I had been working outside, and the wife was like, "Hey, let's go to Grafton Music at the park. Stubblefield's playing." Mm-hmm. And I was wearing shorts, and I wished I hadn't. I'm like, it was 100 degrees. I didn't think I'd even want to sit outside. So yeah, it gets chilly down there.
Yeah, it'll sneak up on you once the sun goes down.
Oh yeah, there's other things that sneak up on you once the sun goes down, like me.
Well, also
Crawley,
playing on
creepy.
Sunday, Pigpen's going to be up there in a boat. And he's just going to kind of float around and like
It's my dinghy.
Get your dinghy wet
Try to
one more
draw
time before it freezes.
Stop playing with your dinghy.
little Chuck Berry song there.
There you go. Local favorite.
Yeah, that's right, man. The home of rock and roll right here, thanks to Chuck.
Yeah, and
Also,
several others.
I want to mention the other Sunday bands while we're on the subject of Country Music Festival. We got Next Thing Smoking, 1 to 4 at the loading
Nice.
dock in Grafton. I wonder if that's Smoking Oldies.
I was as soon as you
Feels
said
like it,
as soon
don't
as you
it?
said the name, Chris Belton came to mind. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Scott and Friends, Grafton Winery, 1 to 5, Midwest Avenue, 11:30 to 3 at Grafton Pub, and Carl Mager, 1 to 5 at Aries Resort in, of course, Grafton, where the Grafton Country Music Festival is happening all weekend long.
Right on.
And, man, we talked. I remember. I think it was the last flood up there. It was right after what happened, where they shut everything down. Then there was a flood.
Yeah.
I mean, Grafton got hammered back-to-back summers.
Yeah.
And they're just so resilient. Just bounced back like nothing happened. Unbelievable. I remember pictures of, the hog pit like underwater, right? So
So you a mutual friend of ours, Alex Ranson, we were all heading down to Grafton, and, they always got that don't drown, turn around, idea. And there's water going over the street. Now, it's maybe 4 or 5 inches, but it's up. And there is an officer directing you through the water. And Alex Ransom's like, he refused. He did a U-turn. He's like, I'm not. But they like literally the Stewie, a cookie was playing down there. And it was that stage behind maybe the pub. Mm-hmm. And there was water on 3 sides of this. It looked like a floating stage out there. And again, even in the midst of it, they were still putting out music and still having their, still being the Key West of the Midwest.
Yeah, we've actually played 2 different flood fests there where the road was flooded out, and we just set up basically in the street and kind of provided sound for both bars across the roads, the shoot and the pub. And it worked out well. I mean, you had to take some back roads to get all around and stuff, and kind of, know your way around. But it was kind of neat. It's kind of a lot of skeeters and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of videos. There's some videos of that. But yeah, there's a lot of bugs, but it was fun.
Yeah. Might have to take old Graham Holler to get home. But
that's right.
Yeah, but kudos to Grafton for doing it for so long.
Yeah. What else we got going on?
What do we got going on Friday night? We got Shelby and friends. You know who that is?
She'll be right back.
That's right.
Yeah.
Down at Bubby and Sissy's doing the drag shows like they do every weekend here. We got Nate Sickmeyer. There's a fiddle player. He's playing 1:30 to 5:30 with some cats. We don't know. They always just put Nate down. That's good enough.
Yeah.
Right? And then Champagne Fix 7 to 11 at Fast Eddie's on Friday night. And then they're going to put a couple of pianos together with guns. They're going to duel. They do. They pace them off. You ought to see them move those big pianos.
And then they got to turn the pianos after 10 paces.
Yeah, dueling.
Break out the blue emu.
So that's out there at Baker's and Hale, dueling pianos, which is really fun to see.
It absolutely
It's kind of like wrestling with pianos, right?
Oh man, and you can request things. And even if they don't know the song, I've actually seen a dueling pianos where someone went up and made a request that neither one of the guys knew. So one of the guys entertained with a song while the other guy went out in the hall, listened to it, and then they came back in and played it. And I'm like, that's
slick.
Yeah, you make me.
Showmanship.
Yeah, I kind of want to punch him though, because it's like you make me want to quit.
I get that.
We've been known to fake our way through some requests
over
the years.
Fudge some lyrics up.
I fake my way through everything. So let's fake our way through the rest of this list.
We covered most of the local stuff. We'd have to get into the Granite City, Edwardsville areas. From here, unless you want to talk about the guy we were giving a bunch of crap to before we came on the air, Robert Plant.
Were we talking smack on Plant?
Well, they're doing a Robert Plant tribute this weekend, ironically.
It's been a long time since I've heard them.
Yeah, so that's down at the mill.
Hey, man,
so we got to give them a shout out because we love Michelle and Scott, which have changed the name of that band now to Michelle and Scott.
Scott is
It's time for Michelle to get more props.
And Scott is always like, that's my name on the marquee. No, Scott is nothing like that. Scott is nothing like that. He's the nicest guy. But anyway, they she told me the name of the guy that's been putting on all those tributes. I kind of forget.
It wasn't Jake. It wasn't Jared or Owen.
Are you sure?
So I'm just making sure.
Are you sure? I thought it was Jake.
Sean.
I thought it was Jake, Jared, Owen.
I think it was Sean, actually.
Anytime that it's 3 first names, it's a serial killer for sure.
Right. Probably. That's true. Anyway, it's doing a great job down at the mill. We've watched that come up, and now they're booking it constantly. So
nice.
Good job.
Right,
Mayor, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? You went down there with the mayor. He wanted to see you in his office. The mayor wanted to see you in his office.
The mayor wanted to see me. I like semantics.
Or mayor's not going to get reelected now that I brought that up with you and him hanging out.
His approval rating just dropped 50%.
But the youth vote spiked.
That's right. The legendary Butch Moore is playing on Friday night. We got to mention that with Matt Gadigan. So that's always a good show, and it's at his home base, the
Staggering again. There you go.
Well, so.
And
I wonder if Chris Ryan's going to get a steak.
he must be playing.
He's playing the 1818 Compound. We've been starting to push venues into giving more food to the musicians.
Yeah. A free, I mean, come
Noble
on.
cause.
Get behind that.
Yeah.
Dude, a free steak really makes worth carrying that amp. More worth carrying that amp.
Somebody work.
And I mean, you know, you can only drink so many beers, right? Before it affects your performance. But a meal, that's just going to improve it. You're going to have some energy.
Yeah. I remember like back in the younger days, they would have those places that'd be like, oh, well, the band can drink for free. So like I'd go like get my free beers and walk around and sell them to make a few extra bucks. I didn't. I should have thought of that back then though.
Jake Weber and the Lonesome Drifters need to get down to Fairmont Park and play that gig, where every 15 minutes you're interrupted by a bell.
Oh, yeah.
Every 19 minutes the place goes crazy.
They just play like a long version of John Henry and make that work somehow. You know?
That might be that might be fun though, playing down there.
But I've told this before. Jeff Bensman talked about it with me, and he said it's a gig that you have to constantly do math because every 19 minutes a race starts, but you don't know how long that race exactly takes till they announce the winner. And the second they announce the winner, you have to time it out from 19 minutes from when the bell went off to stop your set. Mm-hmm. So you're doing math like right down to the second.
You may not know this, Pigpen, but math is very important to musicians.
Look,
I don't know
man,
if you've ever looked into it, but
I can count to 4.
Do whatever. I'm out on the street working hard, man, moving mad stacks. I don't need to waste my time with spelling and stuff.
Right. Hey, you remember I mentioned that bands raise a lot of money.
Yeah.
Right?
Not my band.
So you remember Impressions? We talked to Impressions.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
They're doing a benefit.
All right.
Friday night with Spectrum of Sound. It's an autism fundraiser. So Impressions, Retro Champ, Degenerate, T-Rain, and the Get Bentleys, which I love that name.
The Get Bentleys. I think that might be the first time I heard that one. I like
slick.
it.
Yeah. That's at Red Flag at 7 o'clock. Yeah.
That's a new one on my favorite list.
Yeah, that was a good one.
There.
That was a good one.
All right.
And the band Feels down in Fort Worth, Texas.
And that's a Friday night, or? All right.
They do some country down there in Fort Worth, I guarantee you.
Yeah, that Texas country.
I guarantee.
If you want to play in Texas, you got to have a fiddle in the band's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true.
I
What
don't
do we got anything happening on Saturday in our fine community?
We do. The legendary Dan Floyd is back in action.
Now, that is the guy I was just talking about taping hot hands to his hand last weekend. Yeah, Daniel Floyd. Where's he at?
He's playing with Chris Miller at Bossa Nova, 7 to 10. So
Nice.
they may need a jazz drummer since they're at Bossa Nova. You might want to go down there, Owen, and sit in with them.
Hey, you don't have anything going on, man.
I'm throwing a huge birthday party. I'm sorry.
On Saturday? Where's it at? Can we come?
It's a secret.
Oh, man. We've given up secrets on here before. I mean, it's no big deal to us.
You weird talk.
The old school bluff address, send everybody to somewhere else, and then everybody else knows.
Your birthday party.
That's all right. We follow you on social. And,
I think his dad had him chipped.
It's local
anyway.
and haunted. Look out.
whoa.
Just talk to me after the show.
R Acres, that's Grafton and spooky.
Glad you invited the bass player.
I think Halloween's over, though. Samhain just ended.
And that's like a pirate Halloween there. R Acres. Welcome to R Acres, matey.
Close
Jake
to the
Weber,
river.
you guys do any Danzig?
Danzig?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
We used to do, what was it? Which one was it? I don't even remember. now.
I'm the one, maybe.
Oh, yeah, I'm the one. Yeah, with the blues one. Yeah, we play that one once in a while.
That's cool.
But, like, sometimes, like, I can hit that sound, and sometimes I can't. And when I go for it and in there, it's like, oh, Lord, what did I get myself into? Here we go, trying some Danzig, you know.
He was talking before we came on about doing Last in Line by Dio.
Right.
Yeah.
No, we
good
slid
screamer.
a few old Misfits in, kind of country style, and Little Sabbath.
Yeah, which was it? What we were
Hand
Yeah,
of
you were
Doom.
talking
Hand
about
of Doom. Yeah, we played that the other day a little bit.
There you go.
Yep.
We played
Put
the whole set.
We used to play NIB.
Oh, that's a good one.
Nib.
Man.
Yeah.
Just a bit of finger.
Man, doing the Dio, that's a screamer right there, man.
Oh, yeah.
It was in the shower, but I mean, he was trying.
You got the right effects there. Plenty of
The reverb is just perfect in the shower,
plenty
right?
of vapors to keep the throat happy, I guess. You know? A lot of chlorine.
I always thought, man, if you take some good 3-chord punk songs and slow them down,
Oh yeah.
I always thought Kill the Poor would be a good one.
I would love to do some
By Dead
Kennedys
Kennedys, you
in a
know,
set, yes.
kill, 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 kill the poor. You know, get the message across.
See, I thought Take the Skinheads Bowling myself.
My
Be a
buddy
good
Corey
country.
Hamilton, I think he played it for me once too. He did a really cool, heavy, tuned down, slow version of Billy Squire's Stroke.
Oh, wow.
It was Stroke,
That'd be wild.
Stroke, man. You know, he's getting down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go on, girl, stroke me.
So even if you're
Right.
not, even if you're not into country music, you might want to go up and see Jake Weber and the Lonesome Drifters
'Cause you don't know
on a
what's gonna-
Sunday afternoon when they're freezing. Because they might be like, you know what? Not everybody really showed up. Let's start
true.
doing some weirdness.
We'll play some Gigi Allen for him.
There you go.
Oh, no, that's just gross.
Now,
And
would
not on
you?
my, not with my microphone. You won't.
Right, yeah.
He didn't say impersonation. He said song.
Oh, okay.
Big difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to watch Tom Waits and Iggy Pop fight.
Every time I hear Iggy Pop's name, I think of the If You See Me Laughing documentary, that blues one that he was on. And he went with all these blues guys to Chicago and stuff. But it was funny. They called him Lollipop. The whole time they were messing. They were like, come on, Lollipop. We're getting in the van now. Come on, Lollipop.
I want to be your dog.
They got a bunch of them, too.
Oh, man. So what do we got going on Saturday? Anything?
Well, we got
anything happening?
Classic Crush out of Bakers and Hale.
Nice.
They do a nice mix of everything.
Yep.
Naked Soul and Champagne Fix. 130 for Naked Soul, 7 for Champagne Fix. How about Drawl? That sounds country. They're playing the Pump House.
I got to
Better be ready, right?
Yeah.
And, then it gets into Grafton on our list here. I think I just covered the local ones, didn't I? Fry Project, forgot them. 7 to
All right.
11 at Chico's in Wood River. And the Spilly guys are playing. Spilly Nelson.
Yeah.
It's close to Willie Nelson. Never noticed that, did you?
I met that dude the other week.
Josh?
Yeah, he might be the singer guy. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
Josh.
Witt,
Yeah,
yeah,
Josh.
He's
super
a good
cool.
dude. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was at a buddy of mine's birthday party. He played some of his new songs, real reggae style. Kind of reminded me of almost Sublime-y kind of stuff. It
Yeah.
was really cool.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. They're down at Deutz.
And
I like it when I hear that name. They had to teach me how to say it. I still don't say it right, but I heard that's a good venue.
Deutz Philly, for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
we've had a lot of people, musicians, sitting right where you're at, saying that is a party place. People get up and dance on the table.
Yes,
They-
I've
they're-
heard the same. Yeah.
Where is this place?
Not so much
is it Granite?
conversation and more listeners, which is
Nice.
what we all like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where's that at again?
Pontoon Beach.
Pontoon.
Great food. Yeah. And
Home of the only ultra premium vodka made in the United States, Pontoon Beach, Illinois.
really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you making that up?
No, Mastermind Vodka.
Where
is
they
the
make it?
handle.
Out of the swamp?
Well,
There's a beach, so there has to be a swamp somewhere.
now my buddy Carl down there makes it, and it is the only ultra premium vodka made in the United States. Right
I
here.
forget the name of that distillery.
Mastermind.
That's it.
Mastermind.
It used to be Shell or Conoco. No, I'm kidding.
It was BP until the spill, and then it was DP.
You know it.
Yeah, so another great weekend around the River Bend, including the Country Music Festival up in Grafton, where our guest tonight will be playing the Sunday slot from 3 to 7, either under a tent or on the stage, where the Russo and company will be playing on Saturday.
All the classics, all the good ones.
All the good ones.
Oh, yeah.
And man, 3 sets. 3 sets from the Mr. Weber coming
3
up.
sets, yeah.
60 plus songs.
Unless we really got to heat it up in there. I mean, if they're throwing a bunch of money around, which that's happened a few times, it's hard to turn down $100 bills to play an extra hour. You know,
For sure.
But you know, it's going to be cold, so we got it. Just depends on the crowd.
It's hard to turn down $100 bills to do much of anything.
I know, right? It's like, well, what are we doing? You know?
I
So
don't
when
really
it's cold, do you play faster to warm up, which means you probably do play 75 songs?
Right? Or yeah. I mean, unfortunately, we got 100 something for sure, but man, sometimes it's a stamina and memory test, you know, because we don't have any of the little iPad stuff or nothing. Yeah, it's all whiskey fueled.
Those 2.5-minute songs become, a minute and 45 seconds.
Turn into Minor Threat. You know?
I remember
Man of War.
I remember a Halloween show that we did where it was like sleet, and we were on stage, and we had those big turbo heaters on stage with us. So like you walk this way, and it gets cold, and then you walk this way, it gets warm. So the guitars are not staying in tune with all that going on. So it was insane.
That's when you tell somebody to drink up. Just drink up. It'll be good for sure.
It'll sound fine if you drink enough.
That's right.
It'll sound like it's in tune.
That's right. Move around a lot.
Well, they were drinking enough. It was a Cottonmouth show. So
Man, so there you go. That's all. We're talking about the Country Music Festival that's happening this weekend down at Grafton.
You mentioned Stevie Ray Vaughan earlier, didn't you?
Steamy Ray
And
Vaughan.
I mentioned Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah.
Right. Well, we got this guy named Tommy. Yeah, Tommy Katona.
Okay.
Okay. And Texas Flood's the name of his band.
Oh, yeah.
They're playing the Wild E Theater, so they're a tribute, and guess what they tribute?
The Vaughn brothers.
Well, SRB. Yeah. So you got to be on your game if you're going to do that one.
That's right.
That's a fact.
Kind of like that Steely Dan tribute band that you run Southport Pigment.
You know what? Those cats had any major dudes, they were called, and they are some major dudes. Let me tell you. What else we got happening?
We got
Anything?
Tracy Inman band night number 2, but he's playing backstage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
He's a busy man.
He is a busy man. And what else we got? We got Lanny and Julie Big Daddies around the corner,
Nice.
and then Ricardo and John Huber, 5 to 8 at the Stagger Inn again in Edwardsville on Saturday.
Right on.
And the Skylark Brothers are down at Fairmont Park at 5 o'clock.
Nice. Haven't heard that name for a hot minute, Mr.
Well,
Jack Tweston.
You just haven't been here. That's probably why.
That is true.
They play every weekend. Quite honestly, we skip a lot of stuff these days. We can't get through it all.
Yeah, there's a lot happening in our community.
Well,
And
we all appreciate what you guys do for all the musicians. That's for sure. You guys have been solid for years, and I know everyone appreciates it. So,
Well, it's all thanks to Halpin Music Company, and that's not a plug. That's for real.
Yeah.
I mean, they keep us on the air because they care. You know what I mean? They want, the musicians to succeed and have for over 60 years.
That's 1812 they opened. No, I don't know if that's true.
And Matt Van Voorhis shows up every time Matt Tall calls.
Don't we all?
Of course. What would we do without the Matts?
Yeah, Matt. And old Matt Van Voorhis up at German Insurance, in addition to being just a good-looking man, great insurance agent as well.
And
So.
Matt Van Voorhis, just for you, I'm pretty sure that was fake news, which you wanted more of on this show.
Oh, well, there you go, man. Everybody support Halpin and, of course, Mr. Matt Van Voorhis. Definitely, everybody get down to Grafton because you read the list there earlier. Starting off with a couple of bands Friday night and then Saturday and Sunday, just packed wall to wall up and down Grafton with not just country music, but we heard a couple other bands, psychedelic style type bands listed there. So.
And everybody on Sunday is heading for the Jake Weber and Lonesome Drifters show, 3 to 7 up there in Grafton. But some people might actually slip and fall into the Fleetwood family. 3 to 6 at Bakers and Hell. It's actually, it happens.
It does happen. Yeah.
And the Grand Band's on stage at 2:00 on Sunday.
Where's that one?
Way out the cabin, Judy Creek and Glen Carbon.
Man, you know what though? You say way out.
Well, I'm trying to push some people towards Grafton.
Okay, I was going to say,
we love Graham, but
it is it's right off 255 down there. The cabin is on 162, and man, it is a nice venue. Have you played down there yet?
No, I've heard of it a few times.
You should check it out because they do country music down there.
Jeremy Drake's
down there all the time. I think his wife might even bartend there. I don't know, but yeah, they do country music in a great little venue. Down there.
Yeah, for sure.
When we get the right crowd there, they really eat the stuff up because, but not everybody knows the Hank 3 stuff and the touristy side of it, but sometimes you have a lot of fun there,
You know what, though, man? They need to know it. So some of them Hank 3 songs, they're probably like, is that Jake Weber's song? Because that's a good one.
We had a guy last weekend. It was hilarious. He came up. I could see him from far back. He kind of was checking it out. Then he kind of came up and was doing the side look and everything. And he's like, man, I had to come up and see if maybe somehow you snuck him. So he was up in Grafton playing. I was like, yeah, that's a great compliment. I appreciate it for sure. It was cool.
For sure. And we know Hank 3 is just nailing Granddad stuff.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? So,
absolutely.
So if Jake's nailing Hank 3, he's nailing Granddad stuff.
Pretty good run at it. Yeah. The only thing we're still missing, we're still kind of always been on the hunt for a occasional fiddle player because a lot of those really good Hank songs got a fiddle in it. Dustin does really well. I mean, he holds down the fort by himself. We really could have another lead guy easily, but it's a hoot though. We're paying respects either way and having fun at it. So
we got a ninja in town that plays fiddle.
That's right.
We got Nate Sickmeyer.
Yeah.
We got Mr. McGibney.
Oh, yeah.
Been around.
He was an old Lone and Dying guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Drifter.
We got a few.
And Jennifer Hayden.
So if they're listening, you see Jake's playing, head on up. He'll let you sit in.
We got Bo. We can't say his last name because nobody knows how to pronounce it. Shalupik? Shalup. I don't know how to say it. He's a wonderful musician.
Bo's a good name, too.
Oh, yeah. He plays... he probably plays more than I know, but he plays fiddle, gypsy fiddle, and steel.
Gypsy fiddle.
Yeah. He's old school.
The old traveling medicine show feel right there, man. That's my people. I mean, I don't know if I'm really gypsy, but I feel like I am. Probably a quarter gypsy on my mom's side.
I first heard him there. He plays with Hill Williams band. I heard him down at like Shea, Maryland and stuff. And I think I might have got up or we heard of each other. And then he come and played a few shows with us. He played at Rustoberfest and a few others.
Nice.
Yeah, he stays busy though. He plays all the time with those guys. I think the Hill Williams guys.
Bensman, my buddy Jeff was playing with Hill Williams there for a minute. I don't know if he still is, but yeah, those guys haven't seen their name for a
lot of talent. A lot of talent there.
Oh yeah,
I've seen them at Stovall's, stuff like that. They've been advertising for, but not around here as much as they used to. It seems like, but maybe I'm missing something. I don't know.
That Matt Gadigan that plays with Butch Moore is a fiddle player.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's playing with Butch quite a bit over in St. Louis off Broadway. They do that thing all the time, and of course Stagger In. And Butch does all the open mics up in Edwardsville at Sneakies and Stagger In, of course.
We should hit Stagger again. Me and Jared tore that place up on open mic one night, and it was 18. Early. Yeah,
that's another place that we get. It's an audience that listens there.
Yes,
yeah. You know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Good food too.
People are quiet; they pay attention. It's always nice playing to a attentive crowd.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Not me. I like to, in the middle of a song, hear somebody go, "So what do you do for a living?"
Well, yeah. You get that.
So there you go, folks. The Grafton Country Music Festival. Get up there while it's still nice out.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Dose plus 1.
That's right.
Hey, the third one's the best one.
This one's going.
What I always heard.
3's a magic number.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
Magic.
Well rounded.
Definitely, yeah. Masonic number too, but that's okay.
It's
There's nothing wrong with that.
it's the third annual Grafton Music Festival, right where the meeting of the Three Rivers is at. That's a 33 now. Now we're getting into
That's
some
a big number,
Illuminati.
too.
That's some Illuminati type stuff.
That's right.
Could be Tesla.
If you want, I'll show you the Skull and Bones things. The Skull and Bones. No, I can't show it to you now, but I'll show it to you later.
If we want to get into Illuminati, we got to get fragile porcelain mice in here. 'Cause those guys,
Look out.
They are Illuminati for sure.
we proved it.
They couldn't disprove what we said about him. Let's just say that much.
Leave it hanging. You know?
Yeah, that's
Hey,
right.
well, thanks so much, guys, for coming down. Jake Weber, Owen Weber, and Jared Gordon. That's Jake Weber and 2 out of 3 of the Lonesome Drifters.
And the star of our show, Big Pen.
Thanks for having us, fellas.
And the real
Yes, we
star.
appreciate
It's
it.
always
Thank
a
you,
pleasure.
guys.
The real star who actually runs everything, Dennis.
Halpin Music Company.
Halpin Music Company. Follow the money.
My first guitar there.
I'm thinking about changing my name to Dennis Halpin.
I say I'm going to change my name to Pig Matt Van Voorhis Pen.
I think that'd be great.
I've yet to get a grill or a Corvette for my last name, so.
I'm going to change my middle name to Chevette.
That might be more my style there.
Pinto.
How about LaSalle? That's a car. You remember those?
Pinto's trending right now.
Are they?
The only reason I remember LaSalle is because of the Archie Bunker theme.
There you go, man. Rest in peace, Mr. Archie Bunker.
Sergeant Bunker, that's
No,
a
he
word
was
in
talking. He was talking about the LaSalle. Rest in peace.
I thought it was Steve Miller. I wasn't sure. Anyway,
Glenn Miller. Rest in peace.
Glenn Miller's uncle of Steve Miller.
Hey, Pigpen, did you hear Todd Snyder's ordeal went down?
I heard there was an incident where he was attacked and then arrested.
And the Burrito Brothers said, don't let your deal go down. And what happened to him?
And they let the deal go down, man. Yeah, I did hear about that.
And Johnny Cash said, "Don't take your guns to town."
Look at that.
And I did anyway.
Trouble awaits.
Well, there you go, man. Another fine episode. Another fabulous episode here of Riverbend Talent. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in again. Thanks to our guests, Jake Weber and 2 out of 3 of the Lonesome Drifters, Owen Weber.
At least
Jared
we think
Gordon.
some people tuned in our minds.
Thanks to the dozens of listeners. Anyway,
We love you too.
Yeah, we've already been saying it, but big thanks to, for real, the Halpin Music Company and Mr. Matt Van Voorhis. Everybody, whatever you're going to do this weekend, make sure you get down to Grafton to see the Grafton Country Music Festival, but for sure, get out and support local music and art.
Leather and